Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next activity here, which is conditional formatting. So we're over here and we've separated the full name into first and last name. And what I want to do now is I want to figure out, are there duplicated first names here? So for example, whoops. Okay, as mentioned, I want to figure out what the duplicated first names are. And so rather than going through each one and saying, okay, I've got 2 Wilhelms, and then I have to keep going down, I've got an Otto here, and then one further down. Instead, I just want to highlight all of my duplicated first names. The way I would do that is I can highlight my data set like this. And then once I've highlighted it, I can click on the Home tab and click on Conditional Formatting and highlight cell rules. And here you can define all kinds of different rules. So you can have, if it was a number, I could say highlight anything greater than the number 5, or I could say less than. But the one I want to do is I want to do duplicated values here. So I'm going to click duplicated values. And when I do that, it's saying, how do you want to format it, right? So I'm going to highlight it red. I can change my options here if I want to. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to highlight it green. Okay, and when I do that, I'm going to click OK. And just so you can read it, it says format only unique or duplicated values. That's duplicate. Values in the selected range. Format with green text. So I'm going to say OK. When I do that, now it's highlighted for me everywhere where there is a duplicated value. The nice thing about this is that it is dynamic. So if I were to go in and change something, for example, and just change that name, now it removed the highlighting from both places because it says this is no longer duplicated. Similarly, if I were to create a duplicate, then it would highlight that for me again to say that you have a duplicated value. This can be really helpful if you're trying to identify in a bill of material where there are duplicated values so that you can remove those or consolidate those into one line item.